What is going on, Falcons family? This is your boy Marcus Washington. You are on the mark with me where we talk everything Falcons football. And guess what, Falcons fans? We are number one in the NFC South. All while trying to lose this game. We found a way to pull through and get the dub. So let me give credit where credit's due, man. Let me start off with Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith actually pitched a great game today. Put Ridder in the shotgun. Put him in RPO situations. One went for a touchdown. Another should have went for a touchdown, but we'll talk about our quarterback here in a second. Outside of that, man, I have to give Arthur Smith credit. This was probably one of his best coached games of the year. Why this game was this close was definitely not on him. Defense. Bruh, this defense, the truth. Defense holds a home team who was sitting at the top of the NFC South to 13 points at home after A.J. Terrell gave up the absolute pennies to Mike Evans. Or I think it was like a 42-yard touchdown. It looked like A.J. slowed down on it. Maybe he mistimed it. I don't know, but he got torched. Outside of that, they kept Mike Evans relatively quiet. For the rest of the game, they shut down the run game. And then they got to Baker a couple times. So, hey, man, defense played lights out. I've been singing their praises the entire season. It seems like this defense is the truth. Now they're starting to get to the quarterback, which could be scary for the future of offense playing us. 4-3. Let's go through the numbers real quick, man, before I dive in on the negatives, because there's only one negative we're talking about this game. Atlanta, 400 total yards to Tampa Bay's 328. We had 244 yards in the air to their 255. Our rushing yards, 156 to 73. We averaged 6.3 yards per play. They averaged 5. We had 21 first downs. They had 22. We were 8 for 14 on third down efficiency. They were 6 of 12. Total plays, we had 64. They had 65. Offensive line only allowed 1 sack. So when I go in, when I'm about to go in, I don't want to hear nothing about the offensive line, bro. They play good. We got 3 sacks on Baker Mayfield. Both of us punted 3 times. Penalties, we got to clean this up. We 9 for 60. Tampa Bay was 9 for 66. Even though that 32-yard scamper from Baker Mayfield, I saw a hold there. That's how the boy got that loose. But, neither here nor there, that didn't cost us. Fumbles lost 3 to their 1. Interceptions thrown. We didn't throw one. Y'all know Baker's good for throwing one. He's good for throwing one. He's good for that. Time of possession, we actually lost by 2 seconds. 29 minutes, 59 seconds. They had it for 30 minutes and 1 second. Let me give Tyler Algier and Cordell Patterson some love too, man, because Algier, this was probably outside of the first game, Algier put in work. He put in major work. One of those, the second longest play we had today came off of Algier actually scampering out and catching the ball and going for 40. So Cordell Patterson looked like they put some seasoning on the thigh, bro. Looked like they put some seasoning on that thigh because Cordell had a couple of plays. I'm like, okay, he still don't look 100% healthy, but the boy coming out now. Bijan, don't be surprised if Atlanta gets fined later on this week. There was no injury designation to any of these players. And I know a lot of people in fantasy started Bijan thinking he was 100% healthy, only to find out at the half that he was not feeling well. So yeah, I think he touched the ball once. So maybe that's enough to avoid the Falcons getting fined. But man, if they get fined, it would not surprise me. Let's get to the elephant in the room. Matter of fact, before I do that, let me get some of these comments, man, because y'all know I will go on and forget these. Dom says, defense saved us again. No slander, ugly ass win. But boy, a lot of those red zone trips this week to have 16 points still. Agreed. Scooter says, I did say he needed a minimum of 225 yards per game to give us a chance of winning. Francis, she says, hi, Marcus. Ugly ass win, but we got the W. Ridder needs to learn. If you're going to run the ball, you got to tuck that ball in. Can't take it for granted that no one isn't behind. I agree with you. Clayton says, defense was playing against the refs. Yeah, there were some of those calls, man, where I'm like, come on, dog. But at same token, Tampa got the same amount of penalties that we did. King Richie, what's going on? He says we got 3 or 4 sacks this game. Yep. Scooter, we scored our average 16. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. John says, what's up, Marcus? What a heart attack game, man. Honestly, not for me this time, fam, because I was not about to get myself super duper emotional about this game. Because I just can't at this point, man. Mario says those points lost weren't all on Ridder. Please cut it out. Oh, we gonna get to that. We gonna get to that, bro. We gonna get to that. G says, phew, I feel better now. What's up, Marcus? What's going on, fam? Mitch says BPM at 120, no BS. Amen. Y'all better go check y'all blood pressure, man. Get y'all one of those home blood pressure kit things. I got one at the house, and just start checking your blood pressure after each game, man. I guarantee you it will go up. Kevin just says, man, oh man. Yeah. Shard, what's going on? He says this defense is notorious. Hey, man, people gonna start paying attention to this defense now. When you go to somebody's house and shut them down like that, that's impressive, man. That is impressive. Let's see. Carlos says, oh my God, I wanted to knock Ridder's block. Yeah. So let's go back to this comment by DeMario. DeMario says those points lost weren't all on Ridder. The only one I'll give you, the only one, is the first fumble. I do not like Ridder being 5 wide with nobody behind him or nobody to the side of him. He hasn't proven to me yet that he can handle that. There was a lot of RPO stuff. There was a lot of opportunity at RPOs. He did well. Even on the fumble in the end zone, which was an RPO. Why he slowed down, why he had the ball in his right hand, there are 2 things I can say about this. Had we lost this game, Ridder's probably been. Ridder has a rabbit's foot in his sock. Had we lost this game, at this point, people would either be calling for Arthur Smith's head or Desmond Ridder's or both. But the fact that we won on the road, you're going to have a lot of people claiming that he had a good game. You're going to have a lot of people that will sit here and look at you with a straight face. This is what they'll tell you. Let me go and look at these numbers again. This is what they'll tell you. They will say, hey, Desmond Ridder was 19 for 25, 249 yards. I mean, what else do you want from him? They'll leave the fact out that in 3 red zone trips, we were in the red zone 7 times. In 3 of those, ball got turned over. 2 of them are on him. My guy, that's 6 turnovers in 2 weeks. Had we had lost this game, I'm almost 80% sure that Desmond Ridder is on the bench. Because see, this wasn't on Arthur Smith. Now I say this: every win or loss we have at this point, I said this a couple of weeks ago, this on Arthur Smith. Had we lost this game, it's only on Arthur Smith because he still got this boy in here. But I mean, what else could Arthur Smith do at this point, bro? He had 3 red zone turnovers. That means you were in the red zone 3 times. So at max, you gave up 21 points. At minimum, you gave up 9. That ain't on him. The box fumble ain't on him. And I know somebody will holler, that's on the O-line, that's on the center. No. Because y'all remember last year, Ridder had that same exact problem. And if you take the pick six, well, not the pick six, but the pick in the end zone last week, at maximum, that's 28 points we left on the field. At minimum, that's 12. I don't want to hear nobody tell me this boy had a good game. I want to hear well, you know what? You drove us down the field, game-winning drive. I'd argue that ball that Kyle Pitts caught was behind him. That was a pretty incredible pass. And that wasn't the first one. He had another catch that was completely behind him that he caught. Who won that game? Who won this game, bro? So I'm going to take this dub. I'm going to take this dub, bro. But I still ain't sold on Desmond Ridder at all. So much so, I'll read a tweet. Since people think that this is only Falcons fans that have an issue with our quarterback, because that's all we hear. It's all we hear. It's only our fan base talking about this. This comes from not only a Super Bowl champion, but one of the best players at his position. Got a podcast doing well right now. Was on TV last 7 years. Well, he's still on TV. But this comes from Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp says, and I quote, Desmond Ridder is going to get himself cut and Arthur Smith fired. He had 2 terrible turnovers that took points off the board. This was before the 3rd turnover. This coming from a Hall of Famer. Fam, I've been saying this for weeks. Art gonna allow this boy to get him fired. Now, granted, we won this game. We're sitting on top of the NFC South. Pretty comfortable now because we got 2 divisional wins. The Saints do not look impressive at all with Derek Carr. The Panthers are an absolute dumpster fire. And we see Tampa Bay. Man, we should have beat the brakes off of Tampa Bay today. Let's just be real. The problem is we're not able to score. We get down in the red zone, and for whatever reason, the Falcons start falconing. Let's see. Kenneth said, are you freaking kidding? The play calling is atrocious and sets up the turnovers. Arthur Smith has to go now. I'm going to push back on this game. None of those turnovers are on Arthur Smith. I will concede the first one just because I do not like Desmond Ridder in a 5-wide situation. Because I firmly believe that guy can't really read the field like that. But how are you going to put the Desmond Ridder touchdown that was a fumble turned touchback on Arthur Smith. That was clearly the right play call. How are you going to put the fumble at the half-yard mark on Arthur Smith when the play didn't even get off? I'm sorry, I can't. And listen, I'm fair and biased. I done cooked Arthur Smith many a times. This to me was his best called game of the year. You got down there 7 times, bruh. Only to watch your quarterback squander it away all 3 times. Uncle Steve, what's going on, fam? What's going on? He says, I'm going to tell you, Marcus, enjoy Nielsen now because he probably won't be here next year. Game ball to him. Man, I almost feel like if we have him for another year, man, we might be on to something. This guy has come in here and just, fam, can't nothing bad be said about this defense at this point. Nothing. This defense is doing what it has to do. We give up the ball. Tampa's going down the field. And we get a pick by Richie Grant. Now, terrible throw from Baker Mayfield, but again, Baker's due for one every Sunday. He's due for one every Sunday. But I mean, you hold a team, bro. You hold a team 13. You should win that game. I'm sorry. This shouldn't even be a heart attack game. But we see what happens. There were people on Twitter/X. They were calling for Desmond Ridder's job in the third quarter, bruh. They ain't say nothing about Arthur Smith this game. They were like, bruh, how is this guy still starting? You got other fan bases actually feeling bad for us, bruh, because of the play we're getting at the quarterback position. I can't put this one on Arthur Smith. Kenneth says, if we were running the ball instead, most turnovers do not happen. Fam, we ran for 156 yards. What we supposed to run for, 220? We ran for 156. Not a single turnover happened. We even ran the ball in when Desmond Ridder fumbled it. I'm sorry, I can't. Fam, listen, y'all know how I am. I'm not biased. I'm fair. I see what I see. I ripped Arthur Smith a brand new one last week. Y'all were here last week. Y'all heard it. I can't put this one on him, dog. I can't. Jeffrey says, what's up with Bijan? Well, at halftime, they came out and they just said Bijan isn't feeling good. So take it that what you will. But like I said, fantasy owners, they highly pissed today. Highly pissed. Johnny says the play calling was pretty good, but those fumbles were on Ridder. We should have won by 2 touchdowns. Minimum, we should have won by 2. Easy. I agree with you. Minimum 10 points. Because Tampa was not doing anything, fam. This defense has been doing this all year. They'll have one play where they give up the cookies. They will give up them panties. And then for the rest of the game, they just, you field goaling from here on out. We gave up one. Y'all field goaling from here on out. But at the end of the day, good win. Good win. John Norman says Ridder is 2-0 against Tampa. Hey, the team won in spite of him today. Ain't nobody gonna tell me otherwise. The team won in spite of Desmond Ridder's play call. Greg, what's going on? He says Ridder is inexperienced as fuck. All turnovers are on the QB. The game ain't on Arthur Smith this time. Yeah, man. I just, fam, this is one of those games where, as a Falcons fan, you gotta look yourself in the mirror and be honest. Even if you are a fan of Desmond Ridder, you gotta look yourself in the mirror and say, bruh, we lucky we got this. If Tampa would have shown any fight, I don't know, fam. But I don't give a fuck because we got the number one spot in the NFC South. I'm feeling good about that right now. Even though just think about this, fam. There are a lot of people outside of our fan base. And see, this is why I love seeing honest opinions about our team from other fan bases, because they have no stock in it. They have no emotion in it whatsoever. You got some fan bases talking about, fam, y'all should be 5-1 or 6-1 at minimum. Because if you look at a lot of these games, you look at Detroit, people. This is what I love when people try to compare our quarterback to some other quarterbacks. Man, look at Lamar Jackson. Man, Lamar Jackson been playing like hot trash. You know that Desmond Ridder is 12th in the league in pass? Y'all know that? He's 12th in the league. Look at what Baltimore did to Detroit today. 38-6, bro. And Baltimore's 5-2. This is the problem I have when people try to put our quarterback, who is a rookie, in conversations with established QBs. Now let me go down this, because again, great win for our team. I think this is a confidence booster. For Desmond Ridder, I look at this and I'm like, now you got to ask yourself a question. He had 3 picks last week. He has 3 fumbles this week. Is this a trend we're seeing now? Because in the beginning, we were talking about he ain't turning over the ball. But now we're seeing he's turning over the ball now. So is this a trend? But let me pull up something here. Give me a second, fam. I should have had this up already. I know I'm slipping. I'm your boy's slipping right now. But I just have to address a couple of things. So let me see where they have. All right, so this is as of last week. They haven't updated the stats yet, but I kept hearing that Desmond Ridder is 12th, and he's playing better than a lot of these quarterbacks, right? I've heard him compared to Patrick Mahomes. I've heard him say, well, look at Patrick Mahomes isn't having a good season. They're on top of the AFC. Okay. Jalen Hurts, people been talking about trading Jalen Hurts. I don't know who the hell's talking about that. They're 5-1, and this man is sitting at what, 6th, 7th passing this year on what some would consider an off year for Jalen Hurts. See, this is where people get stuck, fam. This is where people get stuck. They only look at numbers. And that's all they look at. And then they start comparing this guy to established quarterbacks. No, you have to grade Desmond Ridder with the rookies. Guys like CJ Stroud, who is 4th in the league in passing. And I think he only has 1 pick. Anthony Richardson, you can't really grade him because we don't know what Richardson would have been. Richardson was out there playing like a stud. Now he's out for the year. But the guys that are below him, let's just look. Justin Herbert is right behind him, which I'm not going to front. That's actually shocking to me. But I can almost guarantee you by the end of the season, it won't be that way. Dak Prescott is below him. Bruh, have y'all heard the Cowboys fans lately? They want Dak gone. They're blaming them losses solely on Dak Prescott. Okay. Russell Wilson, hot garbage. And he's been hot garbage for about a year and a half now. Lamar Jackson, which probably after today, let's see, Ridder was at 1380. Lamar Jackson was at 1253. So I don't know if I'd have to look at what Lamar Jackson did this week, but that's really the only surprise. That and Justin Herbert, but those guys will get into their groove. Joe Burrow. Well, we know Joe Burrow's been hurt since the beginning of the season. We know this, fam. Mac Jones, been awful. They beat the Bills. I have no idea how that happened, but the Bills have lost 2 games this year that they had no business losing. Justin Fields, Chicago's a dumpster fire. Geno Smith, Geno Smith was a professional backup for a couple of years, had one good season with Seattle. They paid the boy, and Ryan Tannehill, almost the same situation. Zach Wilson, really? And then Baker Mayfield, which we just saw. So it is what it is, fam. DeMario says, I agree. If we had a better QB, we would be a top 5 team in the league right now. I would argue, fam, if our offense just averaged 24 points a damn game, we would be sitting there probably top 3 in the NFC. Our problem with this team in a nutshell is 16 points a game. That is the problem. It's not the offensive line. It ain't the receivers. Shout out to Scotty Miller. We got a Scotty Miller sighting, and it went for 40 plus. Definitely ain't the defense. It's on 2 people, the coach and the quarterback. Everybody else ready to play. I'd argue we'd be top 3 in the NFC right now. But I'll settle for tops in the NFC South. Jack says, man, we never we never have 2 things that match: jelly, no peanut butter, defense, no offense, ham, no burger. It's been like that for a while, fam. Man, these turnovers are costing us. Bro. It's something's in the way from us being great. Something is in the way. See, some people have tempered expectations. My expectations for this team coming into this season was greatness. This is a 10-win. This is a 10-win team. Anything less than me is a failure. They got 4. They need 6 more. And with this schedule, we should have 6 on the schedule, bro. Because bare minimum, we probably gonna split with the Saints, because we usually do. If Tampa plays that same way, the next time we see them, we're gonna beat the brakes off of them. Well, we're gonna beat them. I can't even say beat the brakes off. We should beat the brakes off of them, but we'll beat them. Carolina, you already know how this gonna go. You already know how this gonna go. That's a dub. That's 3 wins right there. So if my math is right, in the division, that's 7 wins. So you need to find 3 from somewhere else. I don't look at this team as, hey man, you know, we might be 500. Fuck that. Y'all see how this defense playing? This defense ain't playing like we a 500 ball club. This offense is, though. And that we have to address. And I'm saying what I've been saying all along. The guy that you got behind center ain't ready. That boy ain't ready. But I know what I'm going to hear tomorrow. It's on Dahlman. You know, the punch out was just a good play. That wasn't on Desmond. Desmond don't stare down receivers yet. We see him still throwing in coverage. And shout out to Drake London and Kyle Pitts, man. And even Jonnu. They bailing this boy out. It seemed like if that ball's in the middle and Drake there, Drake gonna make a catch. Let's see. Kenneth says, laughing my ass off, Ryan Mariota and Ridder, 2.5 years, exact same game, great defense, low scoring offense, and horrible play calling. The problem is Arthur Smith. Well, I mean, if you break it down this way, fam, Ryan was at the twilight of his career. Now everybody seems to know this, but when this was going down, people weren't blaming Matt Ryan. They were blaming everybody else, offensive line, wide receiver, coach, everybody. The man gets traded to Indiana, gets cut, gets benched not once but twice, and then gets cut. Some people would like to tell you that there were teams that were willing to pick up Matt Ryan, but then when you ask the question, who the hell was going to start him? Crickets. Meanwhile, when all this was going on, I said, Matt Ryan, when he leaves here, he's going to be a professional bench player, a backup QB at best. In 2 years, the man will be out the league analyzing football. Now, everybody knew this. If you look at Marcus Mariota, the man came off the bench to start for us. I should tell you the tale. And Mariota was never meant to be the answer. He was a bridge quarterback. Now, fast forward and look at where Mariota is now. Right where he belongs, on the bench. Then you look at Desmond Ridder. Ain't ready. People act like I'm talking about trade Desmond Ridder. No. I like the kid. There are some things I see in the kid which were on display today. Arthur Smith finally decided, you know what? I'm going to put this kid in the shotgun. I'm going to give him a couple RPO looks. If Desmond Ridder wouldn't have fumbled that ball, that would have been 2 touchdowns based off an RPO look. I've been screaming for that. He played to the kid's strengths. I don't know what else y'all wanted Arthur Smith, fam, and I've been super critical of this guy. I don't know what you expected Arthur Smith to do outside of just lacing up and going out there and doing it himself. You got tight end work. You got wide receiver work. You got some Van Jefferson work. You got some Scotty Miller work. You got some running back, some Cordell, some CP, some Cordell work. Offensive line stood tall in the paint. What else you expect him to do, bro? I'm sorry. Y'all got me out here defending Arthur Smith now, bro. And I've been critical of this guy. But I can't put this one on him. It's a dub. But even if we had lost, I could not put this on Arthur Smith. The only thing I can say is, at this point, Arthur, you got a choice to make. John says, we definitely missed 7 in this game. He would have ran all over this team. It was there for the taking, man. But, I'm not going to take anything away from Tyler Algier coming in. That just shows you how dominant our run game could be when our second string guy can come in there and rattle off runs like this. And Cordell Patterson, who isn't 100% healthy, had some good plays. But hopefully, Bijan is better. He gets better. He gets healthier, and we get him back. Fortunately, we got away without needing him this game with this dub. So I'll take it, man. What's going on, Peyton? He says, what's up, Marcus? Hope you're doing well, brother. Ritter's last fumble was tough to swallow, but glad we got the W. Yeah, man, initially, when I saw him run it, I was like, oh, that's a gimme right there. And then I saw him slow down as he got closer, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And then I saw the ball come out, and then I'm like, please have crossed the line. Please have crossed the line, bro. Then they showed it in slow motion. I'm like, that's a touchback. That's a touchback, bro. And then you're kind of just shaking your head. You're like Mekhi Phifer and Paid in Full with a cigarette. You're like, how? How does this keep happening? How? But fortunately, we got this one out the way. This was actually a big win, fam. This was a big win. On the road, Desmond still hasn't conquered those demons because he played bad. He played bad today. So there's still that worry. Can he get it done on the road? But the team as a whole, man, kudos to them. They stood tall. This was a tough win on the road, and they got it done. Now we're sitting atop the NFC South with 2 divisional wins. So right now, we're in a good space, fam. We're in a good space. Now, who do we got next week? Let me look at the schedule real quick. So next week, we have the Titans. So let's put on our Doctor Strange cape, right? And just go into the world of hypotheticals. If we beat the Titans next week and the Saints lose and Tampa Bay loses, we pretty comfortable. Because right now we got a game lead on both of these teams. And we have a divisional win over Tampa Bay. I don't know what let me look at what the Saints division record is. And I hate looking at the Saints, but we're going into the Doctor Strange multiverse right now, football. All right, so they lost to the Bucs, so they got 1 divisional loss. And that seems like that's all they got because they beat the Panthers. So next week they have the Colts, which could be interesting. Because the Colts lost. They lost by a damn point. Wow. But that is pretty impressive that they scored 38 points on Cleveland's defense, because Cleveland's defense is the truth also. So that's who they're playing. And Tampa Bay is playing the Bills. I don't know how that one's going to go, fam, because I have no idea what the hell the Bills are doing. I have no idea what that 1 week they look like world beaters, and then the very next week they getting beat by a team they have no business losing to. So I don't know, fam. Let me see. So yeah, these 2 games that they played, realistically, the Bucs should lose to the Bills. The Bills are so up and down right now. I have no idea what's going on. And the Colts, I mean, putting up 38 on a Cleveland defense. That's going to be an interesting game to watch. So hypothetically, they both lose and we win. We have to put a stranglehold on the NFC South. We got to put a stranglehold on it. So this game gave me a little confidence in moving forward with the team. It didn't give me any confidence at the quarterback position. I'm just going to be honest. Dixon says, what's up, Mark? First time catching you live. See you on AFN and sub to your stream. I appreciate that, fam. It'll probably be all out warfare tomorrow because I'm going to show my face. And I have to hear how Desmond Ridder had an incredible game because that's what they're going to tell me. They are going to try to spin this thing like the vase and Ghost. If y'all seen Ghost, y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. They're going to try and spin this thing and make a vase out of it. Completely ignore the fumbles and just look at the numbers. Well, he ran it in for a touchdown. You don't know what you're talking about. I said last week, they need to put him in RPO situations. They need to play to his strengths. He got the touchdown off an RPO look. So, people think I'm a Ridder hater, fam. I'm not. I'm a fan of the logo. Period. So when Desmond Ridder starts playing lights out ball, I'll start giving him credit. Like I just gave Arthur Smith credit for pitching a good game. Let's see. Jeff says, what's going on here? Jeff says, what's up, Marcus? Man, you have to have cognac on deck when dealing with the Falcons, but a win is a win. Hold on, fam. Let me get my mic situated. All right. All right, something went on with my mic. I have no idea what that is. Yeah, there's some people drinking hen dog cognac, but in a good way, because we came up with the dub. And at the end of the day, fam, to be honest, that's all that matters. We survived this week. We have to get better on offense next week. The penalties, as well as the turnovers, the penalties have to stop at a minimum. Turnovers have to stop altogether, especially in the red zone. That has to stop because you're taking away points, period. But yeah, man, I'm ready to get it on for next week. So Dixon Way, what's going on? He says, dude, I'm so torn. Dude fumbled 3 times in the red zone, just like he had 3 picks last week. The pass was good to Pitts, but we need to value the ball more. I can't agree any more than that, fam. So going into next week, I'm counting this as a dub too. We should beat this team. But for sure, the one thing that I'm looking at is the 16 points per game that we have to absolutely put to bed. We have to start scoring 20 plus. We have to, because this defense is doing everything that it can to keep us in these ball games. And we have to start helping this defense out by putting up points. We have to start helping each other out, fam. But with that being said and done, I'm going to take this dub. We all going to take this dub. Let's woosah. Let's enjoy the fact that we're atop the NFC South. And we're atop the NFC South for about 2 weeks, even if we lose. If we lose and Tampa wins next week, we still, well, hold on. What is Tampa's record? I think we got the same record now. I'm not 100% sure because I don't be giving a fuck about Tampa. God damn it. They don't even want to show me the record. They like, man, fuck. They like, fuck Tampa. Yeah, Tampa's 3-3. So even if we lose and they win next week, we're still on top of the NFC South. Even if the Saints win, we're still atop the NFC South. So we're going to be atop the NFC South minimum 2 weeks. So that's a good feeling to have. We have to start putting a stranglehold on this division now. Because now we're officially the top bow wows. And we need to start playing like we're the top bow wows. Because this team is a lot better than how we're playing. That's the scary part right now. That's the scary part. We're a lot better than how we're playing right now. Once we get to that level, or even 80% of that level, fam, we dangerous. That's why I be on this team's ass. Because I see what we can be. I see what we can be. Explosive. Defense is already showing us. They already showing us what the business is. They like, hey, y'all ain't spend $100 million just for us to come out here and play like ass, bro. We come in every week. For a couple of weeks, man, we can't get to the quarterback. Still playing good defense. Still subjecting offenses to field goals. Man, we got to get to the quarterback. Now we get to the quarterback. So I need this offense to wake the hell up, join the party, and start scoring more than 16 a game. Because we're better than every team in the NFC South right now. Like, clearly better. I watched that Thursday night game with the Saints. They got issues. They got receivers running wrong routes. And we talking bets. So, let me see. Do you think Akuda deserves a re-up? I do personally. Man, that back line has played awesome. They played awesome. Akuda had a couple of penalties this game, and I'm like, some of that shit was ticky-tacky, but it is what it is. Outside of that, you didn't hear a lot of Chris Godwin really getting off or Mike Evans getting off. And to be honest, they had an opportunity at a couple of interceptions. There was a deflection. I want to say either that was D. Alford or Richie Grant that got the deflection, and Calais Campbell almost came up with a pick with his chunky ass. So yeah, man, I believe in this defense, fam. And this defense has kept us in every single game this year. There hasn't been a team that really took off on us, fam. And I haven't seen us play one game where I'm like, man, the defense was absolutely cheap. They were cheats today. We've seen pretty much the same thing every game. The defense holds up and gives this offense opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to score. What's going on, Mills? What's going on, Millie? He says, Mark, I feel today was a message to opponents that Bijan isn't the offense. I don't think he was ill or anything. Yeah, man. I'm happy and I'm proud for Tyler Algier, man. Now, last week I'm like, I don't know why he's getting the first down snaps. So what's going on with Bijan? Honestly, might have been happening last week. Because I mentioned that last week. I'm like, why in the hell is TA in on these first down snaps? So I honestly, I don't know what's going on with Bijan. I have no idea. But regardless of that, it was a good feeling to see Algier literally just wearing his defense the hell down and then just going to work in the fourth quarter. Y'all know how much I like TA, man. I think the boy is the goods. And 156 on the ground without Bijan, man, that tells you all you need to know. You got guys back there that can bang. So hopefully Bijan is better next week. Hopefully whatever's going on with him, he's got another week because he barely played this game. He's got another week to get right and then get back active. So with that being said and done, fam, I'm going to jump off here and we will be back tomorrow morning. Well, not tomorrow morning, tomorrow period. And talk about game talk because I'm pretty sure the press conferences are going to be completely different. But what I want y'all to do, homework assignment, fam. Homework assignment. What I want y'all to do is just Google Desmond Ridder. Just Google him. And then go to Twitter. And look at other fan bases and how they talk about our quarterback. This isn't to ragdoll this kid, fam. I've been saying this for some weeks now. I don't think he's ready. You got other fan bases talking about we need to cut him. I just read you what Shannon Sharp said about 30 minutes ago, and I'll end it with this. Shannon Sharp said Desmond Ridder is going to get himself cut and Arthur Smith fired. He had 2 terrible turnovers that took points off the board. He tweeted this at 3:02. So I don't want anybody to think it's crazy that I talk about this. I don't have any credentials, but a guy that's fully decorated in the game pretty much says the same thing. And I'll end it with this. Bond says, not gonna lie to you, the game was lit. I was in attendance. Well, fam, I appreciate you being there. And I appreciate this fan base, and I appreciate this Falcons team getting this dub, putting us at number 1 in the NFC South. Now let's hold on to that, and let's get a playoff run going. That being said and done, fam, I'm up out of here. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.